Hi everyone. Sorry for the delays. There were some issues with the Zoom. Um, cool guys. So just give me a second. Cool. Okay. Uh, yeah. So guys, today we have Ashutosh and Rohan who are our alumni and who have gone through the whole process. So we just wanted to address any of the questions that you had in terms of the journey and everything. And also, we wanted to take some time to. Sorry, I'm sorry about this. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah. So Ashutosh, Rohan, hello, hi, hi. How are you guys?
Hi, hi. Great, great. Uh, just a quick tech check. Is my audio proper?
Yes, you are audible. Ashutosh, can we do a quick check at your end also?
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Hi. Am I audible or too?
Okay, cool.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, both of you are audible.
Hi, Karan. How are you doing?
Got it. I am good, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Uh,
Um, I
it's
just
a pleasure.
wanted to do a quick introduction and then I'll give it to you. Cool. Okay. So we have Ashutosh and Rohan. So Ashutosh uh, is currently a data scientist at Network Corp, and he's been working there for 1+ years. And Rohan has had a different journey, which I think we'll be talking about in the session while we go ahead. Rohan currently works with IOPlex Technologies. Previously, was working with Decimal Technologies, and yeah. So welcome, guys. Uh,
it's our
Thank you,
pleasure
thank
to
you.
share our journey with you guys.
yes.
Well,
So yeah. So firstly, I would want you guys to give us an introduction yes, uh, of yourself, basically what you've been doing, how what do you guys do generally and everything, and then we can move on to discussion from there.
Okay. Okay. So starting, I'm Rohan. I'm taking the opportunity first up. So
sure.
currently, hi everyone. So I am working as a data scientist in Network Corp company. That is a service-based company. So currently, I have been working since there like more than 1.5 years. So in the meanwhile, I have parts of the three different projects. So basically, in the first year of my journey in the Network Corp, I was working as a data scientist where I have to got through with multiple data sets and analyzing all the data sets and preparing machine learning models and a simulation model too for the our clients to to get the things done, that how these models are going to be performing when they are put in the live action. And currently that model is being deployed, and a big multi-million company is exactly using that model. So it's been a great that I was part of the journey and I was analyzing all those things. And after that, I have been a part of two projects where I am working as Power BI developer, where I'm developing the most interactive dashboards and presenting that form of data that is completely new. uh, Analyzing data is something different thing, and while presenting is something different. So the more beautifully you present it to your clients or to your user, the more faith or the more trusted you become. So it's also not it's also important, to present the data in a very, unique way, or you can say in a more interactive way, on a that's look visually appealing to the clients. So I am doing that part too. And next, in the upcoming projects, I am planning, to do some more experiments in my career to learn more. But I think you guys have, whatever you have joined, whatever the attendees are with us, you guys are, really lucky that you guys are getting this experience as, before getting started to the career. So that's a bit about myself.
Great. I'll give a quick about myself as well. Uh, so talking about my journey, so I started off I started off in a domain which is completely different to this one. So I was part of automation actually initially, at the start of my career, and mostly test automation stuff. And that's when I decided to switch and decided to come into this field. And post Alma Better, I've been able to work in multiple companies in various projects. Just to give a brief about my current role at IOTech, so I'm working as a senior data analyst there, and my client is basically Uber, right? And so what we do there is uh, some of analytics work for the Uber ads business. That is the new vertical of Uber, and particularly for their consumer products, right? So we do analytics for work for that. There's dashboarding involved, right? So that is what I am into right now, and we will talk about my Alma Better journey in this session. Very excited to be here, and these kind of AMA
Did we
videos, right?
lose Rohan?
Initially, when I joined, there were a
Uh,
couple of videos that type in Alma Better site. So I started off watching this itself, and I've come back as a panelist here. So it's like life has come full circle here. So very excited to share my experience with you guys and help you guys make your life easy and make your decisions easy. Yeah. So that's about myself.
got it. Thanks a lot, Ashutosh and Rohan, for giving us a brief of what you do. Cool. I think got it. So I think some of the people want to understand here, how has your journey been in terms of, as a fresher. So if you could, highlight that on a little bit, key, whenever you started off in this field, right? So how was it, let's say, in terms of starting off as a job, and how was it, in terms of, let's say, getting up to the corporate understanding of things, right? So if we can talk about that a little bit, I think that would be helpful for a lot of people here.
For sure. Just to give a brief about it. According to me, whenever you're starting as a fresher, right, there are a lot of things, particularly in this domain, right, analytics and data science. Uh, you don't know everything at the beginning. You are learning a lot of things on the job as well, right? What you essentially have is a lot of theoretical understanding, right? You have practical exposure to projects and stuff, but live implementations are totally different, right? So when you go into a company, into a new project, right, it takes time, to mesh up. But one advantage that we had as alumni of Alberta was basically we had like experience of the structure, right? We knew what to do, like how the steps are, into delivering a project, right? We had practiced it a million times at once, right? So we were well aware of what the different steps are to it. So it becomes easy when your thoughts are structured and when you know exactly you start off with this step and then you go the next and next and next, right? So if you have a blueprint in your mind as to how you're approaching a particular problem, it is easy to implement the solution to it. So talking about my experience, starting off in this field was not that tough for me actually, because whatever we did, whatever I did in my first organization where I was working as an analyst, it was primarily the job that I had practiced a lot during the courses and stuff. So it was kind of easy to mesh in my case. Yeah, Ashutosh can
So
tell.
yeah, Rohan, that I would like to add one thing to you, to whatever you said, that you know we have the tech stack from the, as an alumni, we know what are we are going to do, how to do. But one thing what we know, we are as a fresher when we joined, we are facing an issue that what is the business context. See, because हम लोग यहाँ जो करते हैं, वी आर डूइंग इज एट ए कंटेस्टेंट और वी आर डूइंग इज एट ए स्टूडेंट कि चलो वी हैव टू डू दिस एंड वी नो वी हैव स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे वन अनदर वे. बट इन अ बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वी हैव टू थिंक फ्रॉम द यूजर पर्सपेक्टिव कि यार यूजर को क्या चाहिए. ठीक है,
Exactly.
तो वो चीज अंडरस्टैंड करना, दैट इज एट एन अपर लेवल, दैट इज अ बिट डिफिकल्ट इन द इनिशियल्स. क्योंकि आपको मतलब दे विल बी सेइंग ए फ्यू स्टफ्स कि हमको ये चाहिए, बट वो कैसे चाहिए वो उनको नहीं पता. वी विल जस्ट से दैट ओके क्लाइंट आई वांट दिस, एंड यू
Exactly.
हैव टू फिगर इट आउट ऑल द वे थ्रू कि यार कैसे करना है, ये तो इसमें ऑप्शन है नहीं, हाउ कैन ऑल डू ऑल द जुगाड़, एंड तब आपको वो चीज को क्लाइंट को देनी होती है. सो दैट इज द थिंग, दैट आफ्टर ज्वाइनिंग एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यू लर्न दिस स्लोली स्लोली. तो वो जर्नी हमेशा ही चलती रहेगी. दैट्स द वन थिंग दैट आई लाइक टू ऐड.
Yeah, so Ashutosh is totally right. Whenever you get these business requirements, right? For example, whenever you're with clients and stuff, so these clients are generally these, MBA grads and stuff, right? So they are not technically that sound, but their business acumen is great, right? So they have a problem statement, right? And they come up to us with asking for a solution, right? They don't have a blueprint to it, like. I completely understand what Ashutosh is saying, and it's completely valid.
Got it. Thank you, guys. I think that uh, yeah. I let me just check Q&A. Cool.
So I would request all the students who have like joined in, just keep putting out your questions related to the course and stuff, so that your doubts are cleared and we can answer them.
वी कैन डिस्कस इन द मीनवाइल आल्सो कि आपको क्या समझ में आ रहा है, और वी कैन ऐड, वी कैन हेल्प कि आपके कुछ अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स है जिसको हम लोग यहाँ पे क्लियर कर सकते हैं. सो यू कैन जस्ट आस्क द चैट एंड वी विल, हम लोग बहुत खुश होंगे वो जान के.
Cool. 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 ठीक है. Yeah. So one more thing that I want to kind of understand, or want everybody to understand, would be key. Let's say, like, how has this particular journey kind of changed your, let's say lifestyle, or how you've been thinking about things in general. So, like, if I talk about where you were before you started off your job in the data science with domain, what are the changes that have happened to you, you know, mentally, or I don't know, materially? We can talk about that.
Or
Uh,
Ashutosh, you want to take it up? Yeah.
uh, Before going to that, Karan, can we share our stories that how has the journey been?
Yeah, it's your stage. Please do.
Okay, okay, because that will give it a, going to that question, if we come to that, वो एक this step wise हो जाएगा कि then you can prove कि ये आपको आराम से समझ आएगा कि कैसे कैसे चीजें हुई.
Sure, Ashutosh.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks Karan for giving the opportunity. So I'd like to start from the very beginning, when जब हम लोगों ने start भी नहीं किया था, around 12th. So after when we come, we just passed 10 as a good student. Most of us has taken science. I know most of us, but not all. But as my family uh, background, I have taken science and prepared for the IIT JEE. Bad luck, I have not get qualified, but I got a good rank in West Bengal JEE. Okay, so I had ranked around 2,500. So I got admitted in a government college, but I've not choose computer science because I was very much scared of the coding. Okay, so coding, मैंने आसपास अपने सीनियर्स को देखा था, भाई मुझे समझ नहीं आया ये लोग करते क्या रहते हैं कंप्यूटर में। तो वहां से मुझे एक चीज का ये था कि मुझे कोडिंग तो नहीं लेनी, ठीक है। तो आई हैव चूजन द करियर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग, और एज इट इज अ कोर जॉब, तो दिस इज इन इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग यू हैव वेरी फ्यू जॉब्स इन कॉर्पोरेट ऑल्सो, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द जॉब्स जो कि इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग में होती है, it is from the PSUs like ISCL and the big PSUs in India. So I have started preparing for that. I have prepared for the GATE examination, which is the basically entryway for the PSUs. So I have started preparing for it. It take a long time. Time and money both being consumed there. And unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you can say, my starting year for the engineering was 2016, and the year when I graduated was 2020.
2020. Yeah.
So what happened na कि in 2020 February I gave the GATE examination, and I thought that okay ठीक है ठीक ठाक marks आ जाएगा, but I was not very much sure about the what rank I will get. So in the March 15th or 16th round I got the result. I got around 2000 rank. And क्योंकि मैं I am from general category, to enter in a PSU you need rank below 200 at that, because there are very few vacancies. So as I was looking forward to work in very some of the corporates, that चलो कुछ opportunity देखते हैं या नहीं देखते हैं. From 21st March there was lockdown. So my whatever the chances of getting placed from the college, that was completely smashed. मेरा करियर उस टाइम ऐसा हो गया था कि लाइक अडानी का स्टॉक्स आगे जाएगा पीछे जाएगा पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है. तो 3 months आई वाज completely blank. तो आई सेड चलो इस बार नहीं हुआ, आई लेट गिव मी अ मोर ट्राई. बट एज ए कॉलेज में जब तक थे, एट दैट टाइम मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स वेर ऑफलाइन. कोचिंग्स ऑफलाइन होती थी, क्लासेस ऑफलाइन होती थी मोस्टली देयर. तो you don't have much online things to learn from when you are learning from home for the for the gate preparations. So I continued my journey, but having a very few amount of money left, because after engineering क्योंकि सारे पैसे कोचिंग्स में भी खर्च हो गए थे, because at that instance जो बड़े कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट they were charging much. So I have been running out of money, that pressure went, that was not good. उसके बाद कुछ फैमिली कंडीशंस भी खराब हो गई, एंड द कोरोना वाज ऑन पीक in 2020 also. So I somehow managed and give another shot in 2021, the second attempt of GATE examination. So it didn't went well. From my rank decreased from 2000 to 3000 all India rank. तो अब मेरे पास दिमाग में कुछ नहीं था कि क्या करना है, मैं कैसे करूंगा, क्योंकि पैसे खत्म, आगे क्या करना है मुझे नहीं पता. कॉर्पोरेट्स में जॉब मिल नहीं रही, बिकॉज ये कोरोना वाज ऑन पीक. इवन द experienced ones are not getting the hired. How am as a fresher in the core domain I'm supposed to get entered. So I have two options there, either to go in the corporate with the software skills, or to go, one of my friends suggested कि अब तुम data science कर लो. So initially when I was searching for data science was a course, which is which is available in, big, big institutes like IITs or some premium colleges only in the masters and with a huge amount of fees. So that option when I was searching, भाई कैसे करेंगे अब, क्योंकि मुझे कोडिंग नहीं करना था, बिकॉज आई डोंट वांट टू गो इनटू कोडिंग, बिकॉज तब भी मुझे कोडिंग से बहुत स्केयर था कि यार मुझे सेमी कोलन, क्योंकि whoever have taken engineering उनको पता है कि फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में आपको कोडिंग पढ़ाई जाती है, ठीक है. तो वो फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में ही मैंने किसी तरह से वो पास हुआ था. उसके बाद मुझे लगा था कि चलो अच्छा है, मुझे दोबारा कंप्यूटर नहीं पढ़ना. तो वो हमेशा से मेरे अंदर डर था. बट एट दिस इंस्टेंट जब मुझे लगा कि यार मुझे कोडिंग करना पड़ेगा, यार क्या करूँ, फिर मैंने डेटा साइंस की तरफ थोड़ा मुड़ के देखा. तो वहाँ पे एक चीज मेरे साथ, आई गॉट लकी. वहाँ पे मैं अपने आप को बहुत लकी समझा. मुझे दो चीजें मिली. वन इज आल्मा मेटर, जिसने दो स्कीम्स लाई थी, कि एक तो पे आफ्टर प्लेसमेंट्स की, ठीक है, कि आप पहले जॉब ले लो उसके बाद आप पे करते रहो. दैट वाज एन एक्सेलेंट आइडिया फॉर मी, बिकॉज मुझे अपने जेब से तभी इनिशियली कुछ भी इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना था, बिकॉज सम अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स वर आल्सो देयर, दे वर चार्जिंग ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ मनी इनिशियली, एंड देयर वाज नो जॉब गारंटी. And the second thing what happened good to me was I got corporate job working from home as a subject matter expert in the electrical engineering. जो मुझे आसान सा काम था कि मैं देख लेता हूँ कि यार कुछ 50-60 रुपीज पर क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करके नहीं कि मुझे मिलते थे, मुझे दिन के 12 क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने थे. तो वो दैट आई वाज हैंडलिंग माय पॉकेट मनी. So, and I joined it around my first job in around 15th of February 2021, I think. तो वहां से वहां से क्या हुआ कि मुझे जो इनिशियल पेमेंट्स जो आल्मा बेटर में बहुत ही लो हैं, वो पे करने के लिए भी मेरे पास पैसे थे। एंड आई वाज ए प्लेटफॉर्म जहाँ पे मैंने घुस गया कन्विंसिंग माई पेरेंट्स कि चलो मैं गेट का ही प्रिपरेशन कर रहा हूँ, ये मैं साइड बाय साइड देख रहा हूँ, हुआ तो ठीक है, बट नहीं हुआ तो कम से कम गेट का तो रहेगा। बिकॉज एट दैट इंस्टेंट घर वालों या फिर किसी को भी, जब मैंने हैव टॉक टू माई सीनियर्स, माई रिलेटिव्स, data science was nowhere. At in 2020s data science was there, but as a fresher you can't, there was no any options available where you can join or you can learn, कि at least ये list तक search करने में बहुत difficult हो रहा था कि आपको क्या क्या skills सीखनी है so that you can enter in the field of data science. There was no any significant uh, guidance. ठीक है, वहां से मुझे ये समझ में आया कि मुझे चलो एटलीस्ट मैं ट्राई तो करके देखता हूँ। एंड आई इंटर्ड made the first payment to the alma mater I joined. I know exactly the date. That was 9th of March 2021 when I joined. Give the first payment and take the pro plan. और मेरा pro plan लेने का भी एक बेसिक आइडिया था क्योंकि 2021 the corona was on peak. तो दवाइयाँ तो मिल नहीं रही थी, वाईफाई कहाँ से मिलता। तो अब मुझे डर ये था कि अगर मैं लाइव प्रोग्राम में जाता हूँ वहाँ पे डिले होता है या फिर वाईफाई चला जाता है, या फिर मुझे अगर मैं इंटरनेट पे काम कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे चीज़ें अगर लाइक देयर वाज कोडिंग ही चला था बट पाइथन प्रोग्रामिंग वाज इजी, तो ब्लर भी होता तो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया। सो आई गो फॉर द प्रो प्लान कि और मैं एक वीडियो को देखने में लाइक 2 घंटे, मुझे 4-5 घंटे लगते थे, क्योंकि 2 घंटा तो डेट वाज सिंपल कि वो जो चल रहा है मैं देख रहा हूँ, लेकिन साथ में मैं ना एग्जैक्टली जो एट दैट टाइम विकास श्रीवास्तव सर वाज टीचिंग, तो मैं ना वो हिंदी में अपने कॉपी में लिख भी लेता था कि ये किया, लाइक व्हाई आर वी पुटिंग कॉलन्स हियर, नॉट पुटिंग सेमीकोलन्स हियर, एग्जैक्टली डिटेल्ड काइंड ऑफ नोट्स। ठीक है, क्योंकि क्या करना है मुझे वो बाद में समझ में आए। ठीक है, तो वहां से मैंने वो प्रो प्लान लिया और मुझे वो खत्म करने में काफी ज़्यादा टाइम लग रहा था। एंड आई माई टोल्ड टू माई पेरेंट्स कि ठीक है 6 महीने का है, 6 महीने में आई गेट ए जॉब, बट दे वर नॉट कन्विंस्ड। यार क्या होगा नहीं होगा कुछ पता नहीं, कोहली का 71st सेंचुरी है, आएगा नहीं आएगा कुछ बोल नहीं सकते। तो वहां से फिर मुझे मतलब काफी टाइम लगा, और मेरे साथ प्रो प्लान लेने का एक और इशू था क्योंकि एट दैट टाइम द बैचेस वर नॉट बीइंग सो मच फ्रीक्वेंट। जो मैंने बैच ज्वाइन कर दैट वाज कोहोर्ट नीलगिरी, एंड वो जो शायद जनवरी या फरवरी में स्टार्ट हुआ था, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट बैच स्टार्ट हुआ था कोहोर्ट हिमालय, दैट इन मई, और मैंने मार्च के राउंड ये ज्वाइन किया। तो मुझे लगा कि यार अब 1 महीना पहले से ज्वाइन करके भी कोई फायदा नहीं है, मतलब कि अगर मैं स्किप करके पढूं क्योंकि मुझे कुछ आता नहीं कोडिंग में, और फिर 2 महीने बाद मैं वेट कर लूँ तो मेरा ही टाइम बर्बाद होगा। तो नहीं तो आई जॉइन द प्रो और मैं अपने पेस से पढ़ रहा था। अनफॉर्चुनेटली इन May 17th तो कोरोना के कारण मेरी कंपनी ने मुझे कहा कि यार अब हमारे पास प्रोजेक्ट नहीं है, सो वी आर लेइंग यू ऑफ। तो दैट वाज ए ग्रेट सेटबैक फॉर मी। और मुझे उस टाइम दो चीज़ें समझ में आई कि अगर मेरे पास स्किल्स होता या कोई और स्किल्स होता तो आज मैं अपने दूसरे जॉब को तुरंत, मुझे आई विल बी एबल टू हैंडल मुझे दूसरा जॉब आसानी से मिल जाता। बट आज मेरे पास कोई टेक्निकल स्किल्स नहीं है, तो आज मुझे इतना ये करना पड़ रहा है। सो एट दैट टाइम आई डिसाइडेड कि आई विल मेक माई सेल्फ सो स्किलफुल कि आगे अगर मुझे कोई हटाए या नहीं है, मुझे ज़्यादा जॉब्स के बारे में सोचना ना पड़े। बट लकीली आई हैव सेविंग्स इनफ कि मैं जो मिनिमम अमाउंट था लाइक देयर वाज अराउंड 2000 रुपीज फॉर प्रो प्लान फॉर मंथ, जो मैं आगे कंटिन्यू कर सकता था, हैव सेव्ड दैट मच। तो वहां से मुझे फिर मैंने मशीन लर्निंग और डीप लर्निंग किसी तरह से खत्म किया। एंड इट वाज मोर देन 6 मंथ्स, माय पेरेंट्स वर आस्किंग कि भाई 6 महीने हो गए ना, बिकॉज आप एक कॉलेज ग्रेजुएट हो, इट्स बिन मोर देन ईयर एंड मंथ, ईयर एंड 6 मंथ, इफ यू आर अनएम्प्लॉयड दैट्स ए नो ग्रेट सेटबैक फॉर यू एज अ मेंटल प्रेशर, और पेरेंट्स के लिए भी भाई कि इतना पैसा इंजीनियरिंग में बर्बाद किया, अब आगे होना क्या है। एंड वी वर नॉट श्योर कि आगे क्या होने वाला है, क्योंकि कोरोना वाज स्टिल देयर, द कंपनीज वर नॉट ओपनिंग अप। बट मैंने इस तरीके से अपने आप को ये किया था कि यार अभी तक जितने भी डिसीजंस लिए मैंने पेरेंट्स या फिर सबके कहने पे लिया है कि यार ये कर लेते हैं, चलो इंजीनियरिंग कर लो, चलो ये कर लो, वो कर लो, सबका सुना है। ये 1 साल मैंने मतलब अपने मेंटल में रखा था कि चलो 6 महीना तो आलमा बेटर कह रहा है, 1 साल मैं खुद को देता हूँ, और ये मेरा डिसीजन है, सही हुआ तो मेरा, गलत हुआ तो मेरा। तब कह रहे थे हेलो बेटा ये क्या, मैंने कहा होगा होगा, अगर सही निकला तो क्या, टेक द रिस्क। तो आई हैव टेकन द रिस्क कि जो भी करना है मुझे करना है, और आई हैव गिवन माई 100%। लाइक या तो जान लगा दो या तो जाने दो। सो आई पुट माई, कि जान लगा के मैंने उस टाइम पढ़ाई किया, मैं प्रिपरेशंस किया, और luckily I got my job and I joined, the network company on 30th December 2021. Now, last year, just 2022, the 1st December, sorry, 1st January, that was a great day for me because I just joined one day earlier. और उसके बाद फिर मैं इसी कंपनी के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज आई गॉट सम ग्रेट मेंटर्स देयर टू, जो वो आर टीचिंग मी, हेल्पिंग इन द बिजनेस कॉन्टेक्स्ट. So that was Corona. I can say that's a bad one or a good one. You can say have a both positive effect on my life, on my journey. That too. So that's a small journey that I wanted to share with you guys. और एक चीज और करना चाहूंगा, अगर मेरे जैसा नॉन कोडिंग बैकग्राउंड का आदमी कर सकता है ना, if I can, you can too. Just if you give 100% ना, this platform Alma Beta is there to give you 100% too. So trust that.
Thanks a lot, Ashutosh. I think there were a few questions when people wanted to understand how would a person from a non-technical background, get to where you guys are at this point, right? So great, thanks a lot, Ashutosh. मतलब काफी सारे ऐसे पोस्टर कोड्स भी आपने दे दिए बीच बीच में, छपवा के प्रॉब्ली टी शर्ट वी शर्ट बनवाना स्टार्ट करते हैं हम लोग उन चीजों का.
ओके. जस्ट ऐसे ही मेरी जर्नी मतलब ऐसी थी ना, क्योंकि द कम्प्लीटली ब्लैकनेस आप नहीं जान सकते क्या होने वाला है, क्योंकि एट द
हाँ.
कोरोना टाइम इवन आई थिंक माई सेल्फ कि इवन जो विकास सर और शिवम दत्ता सर ने जो शुरू किया, दैट वे ऑल्सो डूइंग इन कम्प्लीटली हो कि चलो लगा के देखते जो होगा देखा जाएगा. ठीक है, दे आर गिवन ए चांस. तो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप लाइफ में रिस्क लो और अपने डिसीजन पे लो, एंड देन ट्राई टू प्रूव इट राइट. ठीक है, क्योंकि आपको सब बोलने वाले बहुत मिलेंगे. इवन वन थिंग आई रियलाइज कि बहुत कोई बोलते हैं कि यार सर्टिफिकेट्स बहुत जरूरी हैं. तो जो नॉन टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड से उनको कहते हैं यहाँ पे इस फील्ड में स्किल्स जरूरी है, कोई सर्टिफिकेट जरूरी नहीं है. अगर आप सही स्किल्स गेन कर पा रहे हो इस प्लेटफॉर्म से, तो यू विल लैंड अप ए जॉब एंड यू विल बी ग्रेट इन लिविंग. ओके, आपको आगे पैसे की अपने लाइफ चलाने की कोई इश्यूज नहीं आएंगे.
For sure. I totally agree with that. So, yeah. And just to give to Karan's question about lifestyle changes that happen, once join in this domain. Obviously, monetary wise, it's a very good field to be in right now, right? You get paid really well, right? So that is definitely a very good thing for any kind of bachelor, be it a bachelor, be it a person who is married. They require a better lifestyle. So this job at this point of time is giving a lot in terms of money. So if you're thinking, is there money in this field? There's definitely money in this field. And apart from that, one more thing I would like to say is this: if you are in this domain, right? I think Ashutosh touched upon this point as well. You are job proof essentially, right? You are confident enough in your skill sets, and there is enough jobs out there for you, right? So you're not worried. Okay, tomorrow if I get laid off, what should I do, right? So you make your decisions, you make your career decisions in such a way that you know you are confident enough, that even if there is no external pressure, you do what you are willing to do, right? What you want to do. So that is the two major things I feel in terms of lifestyle changes. You become much more confident in terms of your career path or career trajectory, because there is no compulsion for you. That it's not like if you're staying at a job and you're not feeling good about it, you can't switch, right? My story, I'll get to it later about my various switches, right? So I'll get to it later. But my concept about it is that once you are in this field, right, because this is the hot field right now, and it has been for a while, right? And if you are in this, you are always job ready. You are always like, you have the confidence to you know do a particular job in your comfort zone, rather than the employer's. So those are the couple of lifestyle changes, that I have experienced personally. Because even I, for a matter of fact, come from a different domain, like I explained in the introduction, right? I was into automation. I was into testing, right? From there to jump to data analytics, again, like Ashutosh, it was like a risky decision at that point, because at that point it was more or less like nothing was out there, right? This was the first, formalized institute that was providing this course as such. There were MTech programs for sure, but nothing at an online and at a at your time kind of a education. So this was the first of its kind, and the product that it was giving, the various features, like for example the pay after placement model. All these models were state of the art at that time. We're talking about 2021, right? Right now there are a lot of companies who have followed this model as well, right? But at that time, it was a huge risk, to take this, because even if you tell your family, they're always skeptical about, these
यार ऐसा भी होता है,
unconventional.
फैमिली भी लाइक ऐसा तो नहीं होता, हमने आज तक नहीं देखा.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Very so they are not so, forthcoming about these unconventional, education. So uh, it takes some time to help them understand this. Yeah, and once you get the results, they're all for it, right?
Yeah,
uh, once you land a job, okay, that was a very great decision. But while you're doing it, it's always a tug of war. So that's to answer your question in those words. So it basically helps you become more confident in taking your career choices, essentially.
Hmm, got it. Thanks a lot, Rohan. So, Ispe, I wanted to do a follow-up question. So in terms of, both of you guys have talked about, this whole journey has basically given you the confidence to take up any, professional risks, or I even say some personal risks at your
yeah,
end, which you guys, might not have been that confident, let's say a couple of years back. So since both of you work with the clients on a daily basis, right? So I think I wanted to know if there's a specific anecdote or something related to the client relationship which which wherein you realized कि यार nice, मतलब my skill level has increased from where I was, let's say, some time back. So ऐसा कुछ हुआ है क्या? Like
too many times, too many times.
It happens a lot.
Like,
Yeah.
please do share, मतलब that those it's interesting to know basically, yeah, that thing.
तो
So yeah,
फर्स्ट
please.
दो चीजें जो बहुत ज्यादा हुई, पहला कि लाइक व्हेन आई वाज इन माय फर्स्ट कन्वर्सेशन विद माय क्लाइंट, सो ही वाज फ्रॉम यूरोप. तो
Hmm,
पहला प्रॉब्लम आई फेस्ड कि मुझे लैंग्वेज समझने में प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी. ठीक है.
hmm,
एंड देन आई वाज वेरी मच अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट कि यार ये बोल क्या रहा है, अगर मैं नहीं कर पाया तो क्या होगा. ठीक है. कि अगर ये बोले, बिकॉज आई वाज, मतलब आपको एक बार यू जस्ट लैंडेड अप ए जॉब, यू जस्ट गॉट अ क्लाइंट यू हैव टू हैंडल, or then you have a lot of pressure from your own boss too, because you have to fulfill the client expectations. तो वो बहुत ज़्यादा, and something to add to or means I have to, फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसा हुआ था कि मुझे जस्ट ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं, तो आई हैव टू प्रिपेयर लिस्ट कि what can the potential improvements that can be done. So that time, when I came up with the list and I presented in them, there was a huge setback. That was a complete disaster meeting for me. I got very underconfident. मैं नहीं बता सकता, क्योंकि होता है ना कि बहुत सराफत में बहुत कुछ ऐसा बोला कि that you are not expected to be a data scientist. ठीक है. You are
Mm.
not enough skillful. You don't have the anything. I was completely shattered. But उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि मैंने कहा चलो एक बार और कोशिश करके तो देखते ना यार, कि शायद ठीक हो जाए. तो एट दैट वाज द इंस्टेंट. और आज उसके 3 महीने बाद, मतलब उसके जस्ट 3 महीने के बाद का इंस्टेंट था. He was literally praising my work. You have done exceptionally well what we wanted, and that is the exact thing what we wanted, and you have done it even better. I have done all the improvements, and that one thing that I, in the 3 months what I have changed, that I reviewed my work. Okay. अगर मैं एक भी लाइन अपने में लिख रहा हूँ कि that is the potential improvement that can be, like मैंने आपको बताया कि मैं एक लिस्ट बना रहा था, तो potential improvement that can be done, I have, कि क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट्स हो सकते हैं, कैसे हो सकते हैं, एंड आई हैव चेक इट 3 times कि यार ये है ना, ठीक है। बिकॉज कि अगर आप वो जाके पिछले प्रोडक्ट में देखो और वो नहीं है, लाइक कभी रिफ्रेश, लाइक समथिंग व्हेन यू आर रिफ्रेशिंग अ फाइल और मल्टीपल थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन, तो क्या होता है कि आपके कंप्यूटर में वो एक बार में डेटा नहीं भी आता है, दैट हैपेंस, दैट इज अ टेक्निकल चीज। तो आई वाज ये ऐसा हो गया कि अब मैं उसको 3 बार चेक करके उसके बाद पोटेंशियल चेंजेस और उस पोटेंशियल चेंज को इम्प्लीमेंट करके देखने के बाद वो चीज़ लिखता हूँ कि ये हो सकता है। तो आफ्टर 3 months दैट क्लाइंट वाज लिटरली प्रेजिंग मी, यार यू आर एक्सेप्शनल। और जब वो मेरा प्रोजेक्ट ओवर हुआ, that the he was a his senior, the global director, he was also giving a thanks note to us that we are doing a great job there. So that was कि from वहां से you are not being a data scientist, so thank you for the such work. That was a great feeling for me कि यार अब I am become the potentially you know capable enough, कि अब मेरे पास कॉन्फिडेंस, केपेबल इनफ कि अब मुझे क्लाइंट से नहीं सोचना, अगर मैं एक अच्छा काम कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे किसी के बारे में नहीं सोचना। ये चीज मेरी लाइफ में बहुत बढ़िया हुई थी।
Thanks, Ashutosh.
So,
Yes, Rohan.
so couple of points I'd like to add. So, uh, there are a couple of instances, that keep coming up in our day-to-day, work and activities that, you realize that you've done, the same thing was practiced in Alphabeta and you doing it here, and, the clients are praising it. For example, one such instance was my interview itself, right? The client was part of my interview process. So the questions that he was asking, right? It was mostly uh, in line with what my mocks used to ask, right? I used to have a lot of mock interviews during my training sessions, right? So generally they were industry professionals as well. So the questions they asked were very much in line with what people out there in actual interviews ask, right? So you are extremely well prepared for, first of all interviews, right? So because of that, whenever you're going and sitting in an actual interview, you have those blueprints in mind, right? You have those pointers in mind whenever you're explaining your projects or you're explaining your previous experience. You know what to talk about, right? So whenever you are in interviews, you're able to come across with your thoughts, right, and communicate it very well. So that is one thing that has happened through this. Second thing is, like Ashutosh said, right? On a daily basis, whenever you're creating reports, reports are a big part of our work, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you have to give like the reports of any kind of project that you're doing. So the practices that we follow in those reports, right? How are we creating it, right? Or on what basis are we finding out, giving our potential, fallouts, right? Or on what basis are we, presenting it? How are we presenting the slides, right? All those minute details. Uh, if you have not done a practiced it, or you have not done a course regarding it, it's very difficult to get it, and you get it on the job, right? You actually get it on the job. But if you have like practiced it before, or you have trained before on that, you transition onto that very seamlessly, right? So those are the things that are with you after the journey as well. So those are a couple of things on top of my mind I can think of that directly affect my day-to-day activities, right? Apart from the technical stuff, of course, technicals are there for sure, but these are the non-technical aspects which show up on a daily basis during a job.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली तो दो चीज के बारे में और मैं यहाँ पे मेंशन करना चाहूंगा कि जो चेंजेस मेरे मतलब कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ में यहाँ पे, आई हैव नॉट फॉलोड इन अल्मा बेटा ऑनेस्टली सेड, बट इट वाज मेंशन्ड जो हमको करना चाहिए था। टू थिंग्स, वन इज नेमिंग ऑफ फोल्डर्स और नेमिंग ऑफ वेरिएबल्स, लाइक जो भी आप हम लोग पहला चैप्टर तो पाइथन ही यहाँ पे पढ़ते हैं, तो
Right.
इट वाज प्रीवियसली सेड कि यू हैव टू नेम द वेरिएबल्स अकॉर्डिंगली, बट क्या हुआ
Right.
कि मैं तो नॉन टेक्निकल मतलब टेक्निकल था बट आई वाज स्केयर्ड ऑफ कोडिंग, तो मैं कोडिंग क्या करता था, ए इक्वल टू ये, बी इक्वल टू, नेमिंग द वेरिएबल्स रैंडमली। बट व्हेन आई केम इन कॉर्पोरेट जॉब्स आई अंडरस्टैंड कि दिस इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल, एंड द प्रैक्टिकल
Mm.
रीजन जो मुझे ये समझ में आया है कि यू आर नॉट द फर्स्ट वन इन द कंपनी, यू आर नॉट द लास्ट वन इन द कंपनी। ठीक है, आप आए हो, किसी और का काम को आप इम्प्रोवाइज करोगे, फिर आप चले जाओगे, आपका काम को कोई और इम्प्रोवाइज करेगा। तो जस्ट इमेजिन द सिचुएशन कि आप वेरिएबल ए बी सी लिख के जा रहे हो, अगला बंदा आएगा आपके बाद, वो उसको क्या समझ में आएगा? इवन लीव इट, अगर अगले बंदे ने ए बी सी लिख के दिया है, आपको क्या समझ में आएगा? ठीक है, ए इक्वल टू दिस वेरिएबल, बी इक्वल टू ये सी। सो नेमिंग ऑफ वेरिएबल्स, मेंटेनिंग ऑफ फोल्डर्स, ताकि आप फोल्डर का नेम अकॉर्डिंगली करो। ठीक है, कि आपको अपने आप दिखते जाए। लाइक पाइथन का अगर असाइनमेंट्स है, तो आप पूरा एक फोल्डर पाइथन का बना लो, उसके अंदर फिर असाइनमेंट्स, फिर वीडियोस, या फिर अपने शॉर्ट नोट्स। तो यू हैव टू मेंटेन द फोल्डर्स अकॉर्डिंगली, यू हैव टू नेम द वीडियोस अकॉर्डिंगली। दैट इज शॉर्ट थिंग्स। अगर हम लोग इन द कोर्स ऑफ जर्नी पढ़ने में भी काम यूज करें, तो दैट कैन बी वेरी मच हेल्पफुल इन द upcoming careers also.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool, cool. Okay. Yeah, so I think uh Rafi, Jumi, whatever you guys mentioned, right? Ki there was an enhancement in terms of, your professional skills. Definitely, because this was a new domain and you guys did very well in that. And in terms of also your soft skills, there was a development. So I think there's something that everybody kind of wants to know is ki how much effort did you guys put in? Like in terms of if I had to quantify it, कि यार कितने घंटे लगाए या कितना समय लगा, let's say timeline and वो वाली चीजें. If you can elaborate a little bit on that, I think that would be great for everybody here.
For sure. So I think here is where we'll be giving different answers because we experience it differently, right?
Correct.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely, yeah, yeah. I think for context to everybody else here, so Ashutosh was with us in terms of ProFlex, wherein he was going through the videos at his own pace. And Rohan was with us in terms of Pro Live, which would be like basically Pro Live is something that everybody of you would be, joining in when you decide to join in. So yeah, please go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So talking about my day-to-day routine while I was, part of the course. Uh, uh, the key point here is that at that point of time, I was still working with the organization. So I was not committed full time towards this at that juncture. So I was part of the like you said, Pro Life, right? At that time, it was called Free. So the concept of that was basically live sessions used to happen every day, for 2 hours, 8 to 10, right? And then you used to get daily assignments and stuff, right? So that's how it used to be. So for me personally, it was quite hectic. I must admit that because you're doing a certain job, an 8 to 9 hour job on or in the day, and then you're sitting for 2 hours sessions at night. Right? It's kind of becomes very hectic. So I would say it was not easy at all at the beginning for sure, right? But one thing that helped me was, there were students, there were peers with me, right, who were in the same journey as well. So there were people who were working alongside me as well, and who were part of the. So they were in the same journey with me. So I used to sit with them for these assignments. I used to sit with them for any kind of doubts I had to clear it, right? So. Uh, this peer-based thing helped me a lot, to save my time, right? So whenever you're doing this course with a job, right, you're finding ways to shorten your time to learn anything, right? So there are two ways essentially to do this. One way is, understand, learn with other people, right? Because uh, things that you will understand in 2 days, if you sit with a group, you'll be able to do it within us, right? Because there are multiple ideas that are uh, going across, right? So that is one way of doing it. And second way of doing it is, having a structured way of learning. For example, there are set of, so every day you have a routine. For example, today is a coding assignment. Tomorrow is an ML based learning. After that, you'll do some guesstimate or case, right? So there is always a workflow to a week, right? So if you have that structure in place and that structure in mind, you don't have to, you don't have that thought in the back of your mind that, okay, I've not done this for 2 days now. Will I be able to remember this? Or, I've not done this particular concept in 1 week. Have I forgotten it? Right. So all these thoughts don't come across your mind because the curriculum is structured and you are just following the process, right? Like like Dhoni says, right? Trust the process. It's the same. Trust the process, right? So these are the two ways which made my life much more easier during my journey. So typically, I used to after the 8 to 10 session, I used to the next day morning. I used to spend 1.5 hours with my peers on assignments and stuff. So that's how I used to do it. And Saturday, Sundays, I used to do a more detailed study. I used to do a proper revision of what happened the past week, right? And since the time, the flexibility wasn't there in terms of the live sessions, right? So live sessions are fixed from 8 to 10. So you have to find times of on Saturdays and Sundays. You have to sacrifice a bit, right? Uh, and that is something that I will tell everyone openly, because it's not that easy, right? It's not like you can just get into the course and just get a job. It takes work, right? You invest your time into it. You give your heart and soul to it, and that's when you get the results, right? And both of us here are examples of that. So you have to spend your time. You have to it is not a cakewalk. You will have to dedicate minimum of 1.5 hours in my experience a day uh, after the live session. So that was my experience. I would love to know what after this.
Yeah, so mine was a bit different. क्योंकि मैंने शुरू से बताया I was very much scared of coding.
Yeah,
तो I was a part of the pro कि मैं अपने हिसाब से I watched videos at my pace, और मुझे 1-2 घंटे के वीडियो को देखने में एटलीस्ट 3 and 3.5 hours लग जाते थे, बिकॉज मुझे वो जो बोलते थे मैं वो भी लिखता जाता था कि परहैप्स मैं कहीं भूल ना जाऊं। ठीक है, क्योंकि आई हैड टू रिवाइज, क्योंकि मैं नॉन कोडिंग बैकग्राउंड से हूँ, एंड थैंक्स टू पाइथन लैंग्वेज आल्सो कि इतना कुछ इसमें डिफिकल्ट नहीं है टू लर्न। ओके,
yeah,
and as compared to other languages like C, C++, other, it is very much simple. But still मैंने वो सारी चीज़ें डिटेल में अपने इंग्लिश में या फिर हिंदी में जैसे समझ में आया वो मैंने लिखी, और उसको मैंने बार बार रिवाइज करता था। तो वो लिखने में मुझे टाइम लगता था। तो एट यूज टू 3 and 3.5 hours on one videos, बट फिर वो जैसे जैसे चीज़ें समझ में आती गए द टाइम वाज गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड। बट one of the major issues that I faced कि I was part of I was watching the lectures at the same at my pace। तो क्या हुआ, आई डोंट हैव अ सर्कल कि मैं जिससे इंटरेक्ट कर सकूं, and at
right,
that instant we were provided limited credit point for having the mentorship sessions also। so क्योंकि initial portions easy थे जो कि मतलब python और maths और sql वगैरह, तो I was to I was saving it for the later period of time जहाँ पे हमको machine learning और बाकी सब चीज़ों में अधिक mentorship sessions की जरूरत पड़े। तो लाइक पाइथन कम करने में मुझे कम टाइम लगा, बट सिंस आई हैड नॉट एनीवन टू डिस्कस इट इन डिटेल अपार्ट फ्रॉम द मेंटरशिप, बिकॉज मेंटरशिप सेशंस में भी मैं कुछ चीज़ें ही डिस्कस कर पाता था, बिकॉज एट दैट इंस्टेंट मुझे खुद ही नहीं पता होता तो मेरे डाउट्स क्या हैं। लाइक इफ आई वाज सेइंग कि यार मैं मेरी लेट्स से कि अगर हम लोग मशीन लर्निंग की बात कर रहे हैं तो 5 वी हैव 5 assumptions there। तो बेसिकली मुझे ये भी डाउट्स होते थे कि यार मेंटरशिप सेशन के अरे यार ये assumptions नहीं लेंगे तो क्या होगा, फिर क्या होगा अगर assumptions को अगर वैलिड मतलब वी डोंट टेक द assumption, अगर डेटा इनकरेक्ट जा रहा है एंड देन वी पुट द मशीन लर्निंग मोमेंट व्हाट विल हैपन, और वो क्यों हो रहा है। सो दैट वर द सम ऑफ द फ्यू डाउट्स, मतलब इसके कारण मुझे मशीन लर्निंग खत्म करने में इट टेक मी मोर देन 2 months। बट जब वो खत्म किया मैंने, आई वॉज वेरी मच कॉन्फिडेंट कि आप जो बोलो जैसे
yeah,
बोलो मैं वो करके बता दूंगा। ठीक है, आई हेल्प टुक द हेल्प ऑफ द मेंटरशिप सेशंस आल्सो, जहाँ पे मुझे एक मेंटरशिप सेशन में ये चीज़ नहीं पता चली तो ओके आई वाज वेटेड फॉर सम टाइम, एंड क्योंकि क्रेडिट पॉइंट्स कम थे तो आई यूज्ड टू कलेक्ट माय डाउट्स 5 or 6 पॉइंट्स कि उसके बाद मैं मेंटरशिप सेशन कर। लेकिन मीनवाइल आई वाज सर्चिंग ऑन द अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक गूगलिंग द स्टफ और टेकिंग हेल्प ऑफ द यूट्यूब आल्सो कि मैं कैसे पढूं। तो get your doubts clear, I will just advise all the attendees की make your doubts cleared always। ठीक है, अगर आप क्लियर करके जाते हो तो फिर अगर आप आगे कंपनी में भी कोई भी काम करोगे, लाइक यू विल वर्किंग मशीन लर्निंग इंजीनियर, डेटा इंजीनियर, और मतलब डेटा साइंटिस्ट, एनालिस्ट, एनीथिंग, इफ योर डाउट्स आर क्लियर ना, योर बॉस इज गोइंग टू हियर यू। उसको ये नहीं लगेगा यार ये क्या कचरा बोल रहा है, ये तो इतनी बच्चे से चीज है आपको आता है। क्योंकि बहुत लाइक इनिशियली माई गेटिंग अ जॉब वाज अ माइलस्टोन फॉर मी, यार अब मिल गया अब सेफ है। बट ट्रस्ट मी गाइस, that's just the
The first
beginning of
step.
a journey. Okay.
Yeah.
So just don't think कि यार landing up a job is a milestone and then you have to don't worry. असली worry उसके बाद शुरू होती है. ठीक है.
You need to keep updated with the tech,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Hmm.
And you have to keep your basics very much clear.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So that इसके कारण मुझे
Yeah.
खत्म करने में it's take me more time. I was given around 6 to 7 hours. So I will always say कि यार अपने हिसाब से टाइम दो. ये मत सोचो कि कोई 1 घंटे में कर ले रहा है तो हमको 4 घंटे क्यों लग रहा है. That's सबका अपना अपना टाइम होता है. Give your time and make your doubts cleared. जितना भी टाइम लगे. That's not, don't take it as an issue कि कोई जल्दी कर लेना हमको लेट हो रहा है. Don't hurry. Just make
Right.
your doubts clear जितना भी टाइम लगे.
Yeah. And I cannot stress on the fact that what point that Ashutosh said, right? Googling is the single most essential skill in this field. You have to Google
So
everything.
ChatGPT bhi hai, please. Yes, that
that
also is
that
a
was
very
not present at that time.
That time it is not there. But yeah, that's the single most important skill you have to have, right? If you have a doubt, if there is no one else to ask, there's always Google. And Stack Overflow, mein, there is nothing that is not. Right? So always Googling itself by itself is a skill set that you have to possess. This is something that at that time my teachers used to say, Vikas, who is the co-founder actually, and who used to teach us back then. He used to always say this. Googling is the one of the first skills that you have to learn
Yes,
in this field. Yeah.
and I totally agree with it. Okay, that is the only help that you are going to have when you are in a job.
Hmm. Yes. Uh, cool guys. Great. Great. Cool. I think there are some people who wanted to know here, curriculum wise, if you look at, let's say, the whole course or the whole offering, right? So, curriculum ke hisab se if I compare, so how, ki how ready were you just after finishing the course to take up your job related things, right? Like technically, if I look at it, कि यार मेरे को let's say EDA करना है या मेरे को visualization करना है. Just an example. I mean, I am not the data science expert here, but just an example. So, like curriculum के हिसाब से if I look at it, right? So, how confident were you after completing the curriculum कि यार मैं तो ये कर ही दूंगा यार, तो हो जाएगा.
Yeah. So what how my thing was that I'll tell you what the curriculum was first. So it was basically 1 month for each concept. For example, the
Yes.
first month was dedicated to Python. The second month was mostly math and stats, right? And so the third month is where ML came in.
Hmm.
Okay, and after the third month, we started our placements. So that's how it went. So during each month, we used to just focus on that particular concept, and at the end of each week, we used to have a capstone project or a capstone assignment, right? Which we used to do, and where we used to implement the things that we learned from the previous week, right? So that's how the entire process was. So curriculum wise, after the third month, our placements began. We were eligible to start setting for placements, and so that's when the actual Alma
Sorry,
X.
just to point it out, now the process is slightly different. So we'll brief you about the process later, but please continue, Rohan.
Yeah, sure. So so this is back then when it started out, right? So now
Yeah.
the things are a little bit different. Yeah. So so that was how it was, and once we completed uh, the ML part, we started the Alma X journey, right? So Alma X journey is where you start with all your portfolio related work. Right? So you create your LinkedIn, you create your GitHub, you create all your Medium following. You start your Medium page, you start your YouTube page. You all basically you create a social media profile for yourself, right? And then simultaneously you're working on some projects. You're working on mock interviews. So there are a lot of stuff that goes on during that Alma X journey. So that Alma X journey, that 1 month of Alma X is where you are actually going into that. You're transitioning into that theoretical to practical, right? So that's what happens during the alumni journey. And so once the alumni journey started and we started giving mock interviews, I gave like 10, 15 of mock interviews, right? And at the end of it, like you said, right, we were quite confident. At the end of it, we know enough, right? There was certainly an apprehension, ki, okay, first interview we need, right? Because
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now we are in the
absolutely.
mock.
Mhm.
So might be that the instructors are taking it easy on us, right? We have no apprehension. We have that
They
apprehension.
don't, by the way. Yeah.
Exactly. They don't. They don't. So one quick story I have to give about this. So the first mock interview I had, it went very bad for me, right? So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. So I went to that mock interview having no experience of mock interviews previously. So I went there a little bit, not a little bit, quite underprepared. Yeah. So I went to the session, and we had it was basically a coding round. Right? So we started discussing the problem statement, and I was sharing my screen, right? And I was typing out my solutions, and I was just blank. I was not able to come up with an algorithm as well, right? And he was, giving me hints. I was trying out what to do, right? And but it didn't go well. So that interviewer, he just you know, showed me where I was and what is expected, right? So he just told me that I'm not ready for this at all. So that is when it clicked me that okay, now what I'm going towards is the real deal. Right? So this is not your classes, or this is not all that anymore, right? This is your preparation for your actual live interview. So you can't take it easy at all. So that is when I started, to take interviews, mock interviews seriously. Because when you think about mock interviews, you think, okay, it's just mock, right? How hard can it be, right? But you have to take it seriously because it's basically helping you to, like I said, create a blueprint of what you will present yourself in an actual interview. The idea is that you don't look for words, or you don't look for things to say during that interview while the interview is happening, right? During an actual interview, you already have, okay, this is what I will say when he touches on this point, right? You have triggers to different questions as well. So you prepare, uh, if you prepare very hard for a mock interview, the actual interviews are pretty much the same. The apprehension would be there for sure for the first interview, but then it becomes easier. So for me, once that first interview happened, right, the first interview was a bit tough for me. I wasn't able to clear it, but by the fourth interview, I was able to, get conversions. So it was like that. And one more thing I would like to add here is that whenever you're going for interviews and stuff, right, there is always this nervousness that is there for any candidate, right? And it was same for us as well. But always think of interviews as a math problem, right? Think of it as a probability problem. This is what Shivam used to say, right? When we used to talk to him regarding our concerns of interviews, how we are struggling in interviews, he used to always say that consider it as a math problem, right? Where it's not necessary that a interview that you're taking, it's not necessary that it's your skill set that is not there because of which you're not landing that. Your skill set might be there. It's just that that particular day, that particular interview asked you a question which you were not prepared for, right? So it's a probability game. So always consider it as a probability. So try to maximize the number of interviews that you can get, and if you maximize that, so, so for example, if you're taking five interviews now, take 20, right? Eventually you will pass the second round for 10, you pass the third round for 4, right? So essentially you're trying to increase that initial number of interview calls, right? So always treat interviews as probability problems, not as this obstacle in front of you, because interviewers are trying to hire you. It's not like they're trying to reject you in an interview, right? So don't consider interviews as a place where they're trying to like put you down. It's consider it a collaboration. Consider it a put the feelings out of it. That's easier said than done. I totally understand that, and I can attest to it. It was difficult at the beginning, but eventually it gets easier, right? Eventually you uh, put the after you fail 1, 2, 3, it becomes easier. After that it's like, okay, now what is going to happen? Now I'm just going to give more interviews and I'm used to scenarios, right? So treat it as, keep the emotions out of it. uh, Take into consideration what the previous interview had, the feedback, right? Take those feedbacks into consideration and improve on those feedbacks for the next interview, and keep this iteration going, and eventually you will land. So that is what I have to say about the interview process and the journey in general.
So
So,
one thing,
I think Rohan, whatever Rohan mentioned, right? Rohan took that. Rohan actually did all of that. I think Rohan has switched 3 roles since he
Yeah.
started
So
this.
yeah. So like I told you, right? Lifestyle changes that happen when you get into this domain. You get to you get safe, kind of safe with your job. So I'll tell you a bit about my experience per se. Uh, so like I said, right, after my ALMAP better process, I immediately, like, third or the fourth interview, I cracked it. So it was for decimal technology, right, and that was a data analyst role. So I worked there for close to 8 months, 8 to 9 months, and then due to some personal reasons, actually my parents were retiring. So they wanted to come back to our hometown. We were living in Delhi at that point, right? So they wanted to come back to their hometown, which is in Kerala. So I also decided that I want to be somewhere near, to them. So that's when I decided, okay, I'll switch. And I didn't think about it much because I had certain confidence and I had a uh, thing to fall to as well, right? I had the Alba Better network to fall to, right? So I reached out to the placement coordinators and said, if there are opportunities that you have, uh, please do tell me about it as well. So they were obviously we had a good rapport, right? So they were cool with it, and I think within a month I was able to land my second job, right? And it was at Vedantu, right? So Vedantu May, I worked again for like 4 to 5 months, and that is when the layoffs hit Vedantu as well. So all the new joinees were hit by it. So that is an unforeseen circumstance that happened with me. But again, I wasn't disheartened that much uh, because I had the confidence, right? So I reached out again and told them, okay, this certain thing has happened. Can you help me out? Right. So again, they kind of helped me out with more opportunities, and that is when I got this role. And uh, it is actually a very good thing for me that the layoff happened, because this is a senior role, right? Which I've gotten, which is not a part of the previous role that I had. It was more, if my previous role in Vedantu was a data analyst role. Well, this role is more of a senior data analyst role. So kind of everything worked out for me eventually, right? And I was able to do this because I had a backup, right? Because I had this network to rely on. So that is something that will not be talked about that much during the session, right? These guys won't bring that up a lot. But for students, I would say it is a very big plus. Uh, that level of comfort. Ki, okay, uh, even if I tomorrow lose my job or decide to switch, will I be getting support? The answer is definitely. You will be getting the support of the team. You can you get to interview for various opportunities. Because the network that you create is the actual byproduct that you're getting from Alba. Apart from your initial job, apart from your education, that network is something that you can't pay enough amount of money for, right? So 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 that's what my interviews experience has been throughout. Yeah.
Thanks, Rohan. Ashutosh, one thing I wanted to know from you. तो यू मेंशन राइट कि स्टार्टिंग में जो अपना पे आफ्टर प्लेसमेंट वाला जो चीज है, उसका रिसेप्शन कैसा था व्हेनेवर यू टोल्ड पीपल कि पे आफ्टर प्लेसमेंट है? क्योंकि दिस इज अ रिकरिंग क्वेश्चन राइट कि यार पे आफ्टर प्लेसमेंट तो फ्रॉड है, स्कैम है, ये है, वो है। तो हाउ वाज इट व्हेन यू टॉक्ड अबाउट इट विद योर फैमिली एंड हाउ
नो
डिड इट
वन
गो?
अग्रीड, ट्रस्ट मी, नो वन अग्रीड कि भाई ये स्कैम है, ठीक है। तो मतलब इवन माय
क्या चेंज हुआ
सीनियर्स,
फिर? व्हाट चेंज? हाउ
इवन
डिड
माय
यू अंडरस्टैंड?
सीनियर्स, इवन जितने भी मेरे कॉलेज में सीनियर्स थे, इवन इन द कंप्यूटर साइंस डोमेन, बिकॉज इट इज मोर रिलेटेड टू एटॉमिक डोमेन, मैंने उन्होंने उनसे कहा, तो एवरीवन वाज लाइक कि देखो डेटा साइंस में भी ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, बिकॉज देयर वर सर्टेन डोमेन्स, पे आफ्टर प्लेसमेंट मॉडल्स इन, आई थिंक सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री देयर आर सम प्लेसमेंट मॉडल्स, बट यहाँ नहीं था। तो आई वाज थिंकिंग कि नहीं, मुझे ये करना है। तो मेरे पेरेंट्स भी लाइक, तुम्हारा मन है कर लो, ठीक है, बट वी डोंट रिलाई ऑन अस। सो आई वाज गिविंग कि ठीक है यार, मैं अपने आप को एक चांस देता हूँ। अगर मेरा ये एक साल, लेट्स से इवन इट वाज स्कैम, आई वाज थॉट, माय थॉट एट दैट इंस्टेंट, एक चांस देता हूँ, इवन इट वाज स्कैम, इट विल बी ऑन मी, कि चलो यार मैंने ट्राई तो किया। अगर लेट्स से इवन 100 थिंग्स की जब हम लोग करते हैं कि यार वो बोला है करो, नहीं करो, नहीं करो, then इवन आफ्टर सम टाइम वी फील गिल्टी कि यार काश वो ट्राई कर लेते, काश वो चीज कर लेते तो आज उससे बेटर कंडीशन में रहते। तो एट दैट इंस्टेंट आई थॉट कि यार लेट्स गिव इट ऑन मी, कि इफ इट वाज गुड, चलो मेरे पे जाएगा। एंड एवरीवन जस्ट लुक्स, ट्रस्ट मी, दैट्स द वर्स्ट थिंग इन आवर सोसाइटी, कि एवरीवन लुक्स एट द रिजल्ट, नो वन लुक एट द एफर्ट व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, ठीक है। दैट इज द वर्स्ट थिंग, दैट इज द रियलिटी दैट यू हैव टू फेस।
या
तो
या
ठीक है, तो आई थिंक कि चलो रिजल्ट आएगा तो सब शांति हो जाएंगे, उसका कोई नहीं है। और अगर नहीं आया, ठीक है, तो डेट विल बी, मैं अपने लाइफ में आगे बढ़ूंगा, ये गिल्टी तो नहीं रहेगा मेरे पे कि यार मैंने ट्राई तो नहीं किया, ठीक है। तो एट दैट थिंग आई जस्ट फॉरगेट अबाउट एवरीथिंग एंड जस्ट ट्राई टू फोकस एंड आई डिड इट, जस्ट गिवन माई 100% देयर, और द रिजल्ट मेक ऑल ऑफ देम साइलेंट।
तो फाइनली स्कैम नहीं था ना वो, मतलब
नहीं।
क्लियरली देता।
ठीक है। कूल 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 गाइस, गॉट इट। ठीक है। या सो आई थिंक एक और चीज है। सो वन ऑफ द मेजर पिलर्स दैट वी हैव एट अनवेटर इज कम्युनिटी, राइट? कम्युनिटी इज समथिंग दैट वी look up to कि यार we have a good community and we want to build up on our community वाला thing. तो I wonder कि यार अभी तक जो आप लोग का कम्युनिटी था, राइट, कि whatever you guys have interacted with within your cohorts, so how is that relationship right now with people?
So I can't talk enough about community-based learning, right? So this was one of the keys to my journey. Uh, like I explained during the initial
Yes, yes.
conversation,
Hmm.
right? I used to find time to study with my peers, right? So at that point we had like 20 students in one cohort, right? And the fact is that uh, this journey can be very lonely while you're doing it alone, right?
Hmm.
It can
Yeah.
be very, it can be very, you are uh, apart from the real life that is going on, right? Real
Yeah.
life is going on something else, and we are focused on this particular domain, and the journey is quite different, and people don't relate to it that much. So
Hmm.
it becomes important that you find people who are relatable, right? Who you can talk to and you can share your problems with. If you're stressed out a day, you can vent out, right? All those things are necessary. So that's where this cohort system is very important. uh, I still have like many friends from the time I was there, right? So I'm in touch with a few of them still. So incidentally, one of my friends recently had an engagement as well. Uh, so this connection that you build up, no, it is like a friendship only. It's a friendship only because you were there in a journey when you know it was completely totally different from other experience of going to college or any. It's a different experience. uh, you do your projects together. I still remember we used to sit late nights, early mornings, right, to discuss a particular capstone project, how to, what are the different approaches to a problem, right? And like I explained, so the advantages to this are multiple, right? The first advantage is that you're basically understanding their thought process, right? You're basically expediting the understanding at time. You might think of one thing in like 4 hours. If you sit with three people, three brains are applying their minds towards one problem statement. So it becomes much more easier. So that way, learning wise, it's much more easier. The coping mechanism, because this process becomes very stressful at times. So the coping mechanism is always there with these friends, right? And at the end of the day, uh, when you pass out, right? When you pass out and you, like I explained, you create a network of people, right? So this network essentially helps you later on in your journey if you want to switch or if you want to, start something of your own, for example, right? It always is an avenue you can reach out to, and you know that you can trust these people because you have talked to them, right? So in all ways, I think cohort based or community based learning like is very important for any kind of education system, uh, just like it is here.
One thing I like to add ki I was not, in a with a great group like 20 or 30 people, but I have made some few friends. So like Abhi, I had connection then too, and whenever in my project also I got stuck. I can call them and ask, hey, have you ever come across these or not? So they can
Right.
help you either there too. And I am giving, they are giving me the help or hum be as required as if they get stuck, help them with my stuff also. So
Absolutely.
that's also help even after you just cross you after landing a job too.
Definitely. So this is something that I would request all the students to, understand, and this is very important. Always, whenever you're taking the course, right? Find like-minded people. These like-minded people are there in your community, right? Find them, do your projects with them, collaborate with them. You learn so many skills while doing this, right? So very important for your learning process and your process after getting a job as well.
And having friends is always great.
Of course.
Yeah. Cool. Uh, cool, guys. I think we are towards the end of the session. So, quickly, I think एक दो चीजें that I think I would want to know from you. Um, एक तो is कि I think people wanted to know what the job satisfaction, your creative satisfaction, and what is your motivation. So, if you can briefly talk about here, what helps you get up in the morning to go do your job.
Ah, like
Yeah.
you know
I know थोड़ा philosophical question आ गया
no,
यहाँ पे, but
but
yes, I mean people want to know.
okay.
Okay.
So but starting from the just having a fun thing, that Monday blues have every Monday's blues are always a fear.
ठीक है, Monday
Monday
blues
you don't want to
I
go to.
accept, मतलब Monday
Apart from
blues.
Monday.
Apart from
And
Monday,
Fridays are good.
Tuesday से क्या motivation है
But
तुमको काम?
apart from that, the sense of appreciations you are giving. And one more thing that at initially what you will get free key, just a fun thing कि अब आप रेस्टोरेंट जाके मतलब प्राइस लिस्ट नहीं देखोगे आफ्टर लैंडिंग योर जॉब कि कितने
Exactly.
का है.
Exactly.
uh,
The lifestyle changes. That's
yes,
perfect.
that's a small thing, but no,
Nice.
one thing you were always see, data science is a field which is growing, or not only as a data scientist or analyst or engineer, everything, when you are seeing that your work is getting appreciated and being deployed, like जैसे विराट कोहली खेलता है तो वो छक्के मारता है जब वो तो वो एग्जीक्यूशन उसका दिखता है तो बाकी उसको भी अच्छा लगता होगा, लाइक इवन द पर्सन हु इज एंजॉयिंग. तो
Hmm.
जब आपका प्रोजेक्ट आपका काम इज बीइंग यूज्ड इज बीइंग जब मल्टीपल थाउजेंड पीपल्स आपका काम देख रहे हैं और वो यूज कर रहे हैं, देन यू फील इट्स अपने में ग्रेटनेस फील आता है कि यार ओके आई एम नाउ समथिंग, माय वर्क इज समथिंग नाउ. मतलब पहले जैसा नहीं है कि कोई वैल्यू नहीं कर रहा है. तो वो सेंस ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट जो बहुत that is also a motivation for me.
Yeah, so totally agree with Ashutosh. That satisfaction of when you give uh, the result to the client and he appreciates it. Right? So no feeling better than that, right? So that is a great motivator. So for me personally, it's uh, I would say it's basically like not getting too comfortable in your space, right? So it's something like that. For example, uh, in my previous job, right? So I was getting very monotonous, right? The
Mm,
job was getting very monotonous, and you feel that okay, it's the same thing that you're doing every day. There's nothing new that you're doing, nothing new that is happening, right? So the the flow of the job becomes very monotonous in a way, which makes you lose interest in it. So if you are doing something that presents new challenges like every now and then, right? So it's a big motivator for me personally. So whenever you have some new problem statement or a thing that we haven't done before, right? And in this field, we keep coming across such problems, right? So the new problem statements, the new implementation and stuff, all that excites me a lot because uh, monotony is something that I get bored with very easily. So if you're continuously doing something new, you're continuously improvising and doing something new, right? It's a big motivator for me personally.
Yes, एक चीज मैं इसमें ऐड करना चाहूंगा क्योंकि yes, I totally agree with Rohan, because we are not mechanical laborers. We are some working
Exactly.
some smart brains. So
Hmm.
if you are utilizing your brains, creating new things, that's also चलो इससे भी अच्छा करके देखते क्या होगा.
Right. Yeah.
sorry guys, I'm a little sick. Uh,
Take
cool.
care, Khan.
ठीक है. कूल कूल कूल. आई थिंक एक दो चीजें हैं क्विकली. सॉरी, लेट मी. Sorry, I'm losing track of this. Okay, cool. Okay, so we have both of you. So one thing I think which is a confusion for everybody, what is the difference between data scientist and data analyst?
Yeah.
तो उस पे एक बार क्विकली बात कर लेते हैं अपन. मल्टीपल लोगों को डाउट है तो क्लैरिफाई कर देते हैं.
For sure. Yeah. So Ashutosh, you want to start?
Okay, so
Or
data
start?
analyst and data scientist, one basic difference is analyst is something who analyzes data कि data में है क्या, like what can be the potentials output. Okay,
Hmm.
and as a data scientist you have to give solutions to that also, कि how can the improvements be made. ठीक है, that is what the scientist works in the first one, and he has to work with multiple uh, tech parties. Like he has to work with data engineer, he has to collaborate with data engineer too, that if the data is coming good or not. He has to collaborate with the analyst too, that what are the potential insights, so that he can work कि यार इसमें क्या improvements हो सकती है. He has to work with the machine engineer too, that if the model is working great or not, or how how are we at that improving that. So both
Hmm.
are great, all of them are great domains. So uh, no, apart from this question, I want to add one thing, that don't worry about the domain what you are getting as a fresher, just take it. And there are, if you even enter in one domain, you have the option to enter all of them in your future.
Right. Yeah, one. So I'll add some points. So first of all, I feel that in India particularly, I think these domains are very malleable in nature. In terms
Correct,
of the
correct.
job title doesn't exactly signify the role as well, right? So in some companies, there are data analysts who are doing data scientist work as well, and vice versa, right? So India, it's not defined as such. What is data scientist, data analyst? To give a basic viewpoint, uh, data analyst work majorly revolves around giving insights, right? Majorly dashboards and stuff, right? Whereas data scientist role is an extension to that, where you, apart from doing this, you're creating models and creating solutions to that. So the day-to-day tools that you work in is a bit different. So, for example, for a data analyst, you're primarily working on Excel, SQL, and any kind of visualization tool on a daily basis, right? Be it Power BI, Tableau, anything. And as a data scientist, you work on Python, and there are other. So it's an addition to it. There are other additional tools that you use for that, right? So that is a basic difference. And like Ashutosh said, right? If you're when you're starting out, right? You can start out in any kind of domain, data-oriented domain that you want, and you can keep switching once you get experience and stuff. So that's about it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Any other question?
Thanks, Ashutosh and Rohan. Any other question? Let me just check the Q&A. Fatafat se. Got it. Cool. Yeah, one thing that is coming up as a recurring question is here, is there, kind of an age limit to transition into data science?
No.
No.
No,
No.
I don't believe so. Yeah. So even I had so talking about a previous cohort, right? There were people right from the college pass outs, the fourth years, to people who are 30 plus, 35 plus as well. So the age range was quite varied when I
Hmm.
was in my course, right? And I've seen people switch after 10 years of working as well, right? People who are working in some others. For example, I know particularly a person who was working in the mechanical domain, and then he shifted for 10 years. He was working there, and then he shifted more into a mechatronics kind of a role, and then to this as well, right? So that is something that I've seen. So I don't think there's a age barrier to this, right? If you're willing to learn, there's no age barrier to this. Ashutosh, if you have any.
Yeah, just one thing I'd like to add, there is no age barrier. There is no, domain barrier that you need to be in the tech domain also, that you just need to have the skill set.
Ashutosh is an example of a person who didn't have a tech background. I'm an example of a person who has a tech background. So there are like, if there's no buckets. If you want to learn the skill set, you can learn it. These are these things come in mind when you're not so sure about whether you'll give your complete focus or not. So if you give your complete focus and stuff, you won't have this. You don't have to worry about this. If you have the skill set, you there's a job for you.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Got it. Okay. Cool. I'll just address Abhishek once. Abhishek, so we like basically somebody from the team will connect with you once, so we can have a detailed discussion on that later.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. Apart from this, I think we have covered all the aspects of your journey. So, finally, if you have to kind of sum it up, give like a couple of lines for people here. ये ऐसा है. So what do you want to say?
See, I will see two lines only कि if you wanted to do it ना, या आपको data science में आना है, just do it and give, जान लगा के दो या फिर जाने दो. If give it to 100% or then let it go. ठीक है, just choose one side. There is no third side कि यार कर भी नहीं भी कर रहा है. Because अगर आपको आएगा, if you give 100% to this platform or to this domain, then the domain will also give 100% to you. Like
Hmm.
this is the short summary what I can say in my view.
Yes, that says a
Totally.
lot, Ashutosh.
There are people who come in into this domain for the fad, right? Because data science is a big term nowadays, right?
Hmm.
So I've seen many people just get into it because of the fad and not because of actual interest towards it. So what Ashutosh said, right? If you're interested, if you have passion for this, if you understand what this domain is, and still you want to get into this, do it. You don't have to think twice about it. And uh, this journey, as far as the journey goes, uh, there's a uh, blueprint set for you. So follow that blueprint, trust the process. That's the key. Trust the process, and results will show. Uh, do not go after results, trust the process. Yeah.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Rohan. So, taking a cue from Trust the Process of Rohan, एक बार I would want to go through the the process at Alma Better once ki what is the product that we have right now. So after that, whatever questions that you have right throughout, let's say like the next 5-10 minutes of my presentation, just put it into the Q&A. We'll take it up. Sandeep here is from ABD team, so she can then basically take up any specific questions that you might have in terms of enrollment or any questions in terms of the process. So just give me a second, guys. I'll just present my screen. Got it. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. Uh, cool. So everybody, I think this is something that that we have already talked about a lot. We are a community first platform, and we put a lot of emphasis on our community of learners, on our community of mentors, on our whole community as Alma Better. So two, three main things here. Basically, there'll be groups where there'll be some things wherein you'll be put into groups and you'll be asked to submit things in maybe in groups, or we'll facilitate study groups like Rohan mentioned, that he used to do revision, or he used to do projects in group. So that is I think widely accepted as a very good way to kind of understand any concept, or kind of work on something. So that is something that we'll be helping you guys with. Also, we have a huge network of industry professional mentors and alumni, two of which are with us today here. So we have a very huge network whom we will be constantly leveraging in terms of getting to resolve your doubts, getting to let's say prep you for interviews and get content and everything. So that is also something that we would be doing at our end. Uh, so why Alma Better? I think firstly, our curriculum that we currently have, it has been, created with the help of industry experts. Basically, what we have done is we have taken up real life use cases as to where data science is being used in the industry, and from that we have kind of created the backtrace the steps and created the curriculum here. Let's say if we have to do some X thing, and what are the 5 concepts that are required to do that X thing. And what we have basically done is we have roped all of those into particular session or particular module, and at the end of this particular journey, you'll be able to perform, let's say, these 10 things, 10 outcomes that you have. uh, that is regarding the curriculum. Apart from that, you have a lot of live classes, 100 plus live classes. You have 20 plus capstone projects with a ton of assessments, practice problems, assignments, and everything which will be there on the dashboard. Apart from that, now we also have, let me just, sorry. Cool. Okay. I'll give you a basic walkthrough of the platform once I finish with this, right? So apart from this, we also have weekly doubt resolution sessions. Apart from weekly doubt resolution sessions, We have also started off with live support session between 11:30 to 8:30 on a daily basis. So if you are a learner with us, you can just directly go to our lounge. There'll be experts sitting there and they can directly address any doubts that you have. Then again, we have a ton of mock interviews that you can schedule with your career coaches. You will have a dedicated career coach assigned to you. You will have a dedicated champion assigned to you. Champion is nothing but an alumni who has been with us earlier, and they understand the whole process. They understand, how do you get into like basically how do you tackle placements, how do you tackle projects. So everything is that something somebody who has already done this from 0 to 1 will be there with you throughout the journey. Now, coming back to the job guarantee part of it, we have 100% job guarantee program here with 500 plus hiring partners, which I'm sure if we go here on our website, we can take a look at this. Got it. So in terms of the process, if I talk about it, right? So the first step is obviously enrolling into the program. Second is you start off with your learning journey. So currently we have like a foundation track of 6 months, which is basically like 6 modules, 1 month per module that Rohan and Ashutosh have already mentioned. So after that foundation track, that is like after that, you have certain criteria that you need to meet, and let's say you need to complete these some specific completion percentages for all of the modules that are there. And after that, there'll be a test, which basis which we will be attempting to take you guys into the placement assistance program that we have. So to get into that, you need to sign an ISA and we'll basically refund the course fee, which you'll be enrolling before the boot camp. So two ways here. One is if you just take up the boot camp, there's a nominal fee that you need to pay to get into the first boot camp part of it. And after that, if you are coming with us for the placement assistance program, we'll be refunding you the bootcamp wala fee and you'll be signing an ISA, which is basically the pay after placement wala thing that uh, basically Ashutosh was talking about. Sandeep here would be talking in a little bit more about the placement, pay after placement wala program. Uh, for some of our graduation subjects, backlogs. Okay, I'm not sure who asked this question with respect to graduation subjects, but I think if you can just ping me your details, somebody from the team will connect and discuss this in more detail with you. So yeah, so this is the process. Basically, you can just start off with your alumni placement program, which as of now is of 3 it's of length of 3 months, wherein we'll be rigorously following up with you in terms of the curriculum and everything, and there'll be like dedicated mentors, coaches, alumni will be working with you throughout this journey. And once you complete, let's say, 8 weeks of our curriculum that we have planned for it, from week 9 onwards, you'll be eligible for placements, and our placement team would be, connecting with you in terms of job opportunities and resume reviews, mock interviews, placement assistance, and HR calls and everything that you have in terms of job assistance. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if I talk about whatever the offerings that we have, if I broadly categorize into 3 categories, right? For technical skills, you have live lectures, you have lab experiments, you have projects, and you have group discussions. For motivation, industry exposure, you have mentorship sessions, like guest lectures, community participation. Apart from this, we'll also have group sessions with our champions, who will be alumni. And uske alawa, if I talk about this, for appearing into Almax, what I was talking about, right? There will be an eligibility criteria that will be tracking. So this we have changed a little bit, but it will be basically कि यार तुम्हारा completion कितना हुआ है, and how has your performance been, and what is your performance in the final test that we have. So how easy it will be to talk to mentors? Very easy. We have an automated platform that you can, directly use your credits to book your session, and everything is automated. You guys don't need to talk to anybody to book those sessions from our team. In case you have any issues, we have a live session support forum active 11:30 to 8:30. If not, please raise a ticket. We'll get back to you in 24 hours. That is something that we take up on a on high priority. So please be assured that there'll be enough support and assistance provided to you wherever you are in the journey with us. We have, like I said, we have a lot of hiring partners that we are working with. You can see the name brands here. I mean, there's no point in me dictating the names. You can go onto the website and look at those. Um, got it. So just talking about the average salary distribution here, most of the students land a job of at least 8 to 9 LPA. Our placement guarantee provides you a job of 5 LPA. Again, that is like the lowest threshold that people usually land up in. Most of the people have like fall into the bracket of 7 to 9 LPA. So yeah, these are the stats that we have. Some of the instructors that we work with is Soumya Mishra, Abhinav, and all of these guys who have already been working in the domain for a lot of time. They are data scientists, they are web developers and everything. So yeah, I think Ashutosh, you want to say something.
No, I have just saw the one of my colleagues like Madhul Jain, and that currently I'm working with.
Yeah, I think they've
They've
joined
been
with
there.
us as champions and instructors here.
Okay.
Yeah. So one thing I would like to say uh,
Harvard.
that regarding this champion program. One thing that you guys need to understand is this relationship with Alma Beta is not just ending with you getting placed, right? So you can help out other students as well in with the champion program. So for me personally, as soon as I got placed, right, I was with Alma Beta at like various capacities. So started off as like moderator for sessions, then went on to take some normal group discussion sessions. Now I'm with the champion program as well. So there is this another satisfaction of seeing people uh, go on the same journey like you did once, right? And then eventually them getting those as well. So that is another set of satisfaction. So some of the students who I mentored as well are with me in my company now as well. So that experience, that feeling is like really great as well. So don't just think of it as like a educational institution. It's a relationship that you're setting up with them for a lifetime. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
what I would say.
absolutely, Rohan. That's entirely correct, because like even we do not consider it as a transactional relationship. This is something that we are building a community, and uh, like I said, like we are very happy if you guys come back to us if you want to join us in terms of mentorship, in terms of alumni sessions, championship sessions. Like we are very happy to include you guys here, because I mean, yeah, it is a community, and it is super helpful and super motivational for people who have just started out to look at ki yaar, there is somebody
Exactly.
who has taken the same path that I am about to take, and they've reached where they wanted to reach.
Exactly.
So yeah.
एंड वन थिंग कि यार अगर हम कर सकते हैं ना मेरे जैसे हैं तो कोई भी कर सकता है तो ट्रस्ट योरसेल्फ.
True. True that.
Got it. Just give me a second. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough of our dashboard that we have, and then I'll throw it to Sandeep to kind of talk about the pre-after placement wala thing a little bit. Got it. I'll just share my screen. Cool. It's visible, right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Cool. So guys, just a quick walkthrough of our dashboard that we have. यहाँ पे we already have a ton of free courses. So if you are a free user, please go through it. You'll get an understanding of how our platform looks. There are like a ton of topics already here. Like basics of Python is already there. So like even before you start off with your program, you can go here, understand the basic syntaxes and understanding of Python before you jump into the program. Although we also have like a dedicated sessions on Python, but just whoever wants to explore the platform, there are a bunch of free courses. There's like a communication workshop also here, which you can go and look at. Um, Now, if I go to the classroom tab, this basically contains all your live classes ka recordings that is there. It would be very new to you, Rohan and Ashutosh also. This is
because
like a new
it
platform
was
walkthrough for
totally
you
different
guys.
back then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
completely different.
Got it. Cool. Quickly then, in terms of practice, like I mentioned, there's like a ton of practice questions which you can do. You can sort it in terms of whatever skills that you want to work on. You can also do it in terms of difficulty, whatever you want to pick here. All the problems, body level पे भी है हमारे पास, whatever. So this is mapped in terms of the learning journey that you have. So let's say if you want to learn more about computer programming, you can just do it and there'll be the questions here. So that that is like the filter that you can do here. Now coming back to the projects part of it, like I mentioned, right, there'll be projects that you'll be doing throughout your journey. So you can pick any one project that capstone project that you can pick to complete it. And otherwise, uske alawa, there'll be like a ton of projects which will be open here. So you can also do those in terms of practice and in terms of, attempting those. Sorry, just give me a second here. Okay, so this is the career track that I was talking about, which is Alma X that Rohan and Ashutosh mentioned. Here again, this is like a lot of things that we have here. There's like a proper curriculum for business communication for each week. We'll be having business communication sessions. We'll be having sessions with the mentors, coaches. Obviously, you'll get like a full charted out calendar for that. So you don't need to, you know, go here and there कि यार कहाँ मिलेगा, क्या होगा, कैसे होगा. Regarding the mentorship, somebody was asking how easy it is to do that. This is it. Basically, you can just go here, book now, and you'll directly basically get an email invite. Basically what you need to do here is go here, select a slot that you're comfortable with. Somebody, any of the coaches who's available at that moment, they'll pick up your session. You'll get an email notification कि यार तुम्हारा session book हो गया, and now you can just join, have a chat, discuss whatever you want to, and you're done. So it is that easy. Now, if what I was talking about was live support, there are two options here. One is report a problem, which basically sorry, which basically redirects you to report a problem, which this is something that will raise a ticket. And secondly, we have live support, which is operational 11:30 to 8:30, 6 to 7 days a week. So you can directly go here, join our lounge here, and there'll be an expert sitting from our end, and then they can directly resolve your doubts there and then itself. So you don't need to wait for a whole cycle of, let's say, 24 hours even. You can get your doubts resolved in like 15 minutes. So that is also something that is, I think, very helpful for somebody who is just starting off in any domain, right? Got it. So I will just stop sharing my screen here. Now, I just wanted to also talk about the community wala aspect here. So, my community wala screen is visible, right, Rohan?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Awesome, cool. So this is the community that we were talking about. So there is a dedicated cohort-based community that we have, and we also have a large-scale community for all the Alma Beta members. So यहाँ पे you'll have a lot of things, right? A lot of channels. You can just chill here. You can discuss any doubts that you have. You can, talk about any aspect of, let's say, the program or any aspect of any concept and everything. So, we have a full-fledged community here, which I would urge you guys to explore. Apart from this, we also have our community on Discord. Um, there also we keep posting, PDFs and notes and everything, which will be very helpful for you guys. So I'll add a link to that on maybe also on a LinkedIn post and I'll post the link to it on our chat here. So please do go join our community there on Discord, and I'm sure it will be helpful for you guys. Got it. Apart from this, just got it. I think this is something that would be very helpful for you all. So for this particular session, whoever has attended, we are launching a special early bird discount here. So wherever you are enrolling, please add AMA 35 and you'll get a 35% discount here for overall on our whole course fee that we have. Cool. Okay. इसके अलावा ठीक है. Cool. I think there is there were some questions in terms of PAP. So Ashutosh, I think
yeah. So
cool. Thanks
sorry
a
guys,
lot,
I have to drop
joining
off. I
us.
have a call lined up. So thank you for everyone. Thanks everyone. Bye. See you soon in the see you soon in the community. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Sandeep, if you can just quickly talk about the pay after placements, and then I'll just we can just close.
Okay, Karan, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. So, firstly, let me share my screen so that I can. Okay. Okay, is my screen visible? Hello.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Sandeep.
So I'll just give you the overview that what gonna be the structure for the pay after placement model. So first of all, see, like our program, it is divided into two phases. One is the learning phase, and second one is the placement phase. Okay, and now the thing is, like, you can also complete the learning phase from here. Those who want to upskill only, okay, and those who are looking for the placement part, they need to complete the learning phase first, and after that they would be eligible to sit in the placement part. Now, the thing is, learning phases of 6 months where you are going to cover up the 6 mandatory modules to sit in the placement. And after these 6 mandatory modules, you have this have this option to do the specialization. So now, as some of the students, they are like more aligned towards the data analytics portion, right? So they have the option. You can see over on my screen that one specialization is in machine learning, second one is in product analytics, where the job profiles would be data scientist, data analyst, and third one is deep learning. So you have this option to do it by like after completing the 6 mandatory modules, or you just want to skip to the placement part, that is almax. Now let us suppose that you have completed the learning phase from here. Now if you want a placement from our end, you need to sign one agreement with us, that is called income share agreement. Okay, that is a legal agreement between a candidate and the alma mater with some of the terms and condition. Now the thing is, like in after signing that income share agreement, there would be a career track program for the 2 month, in which again we are going to cover up the 4 mandatory what I can say the things, okay, according to the interviews. So basically example मैं अगर लेना चाहती हूँ, for suppose like we will work upon the business communication session. So suppose if a student is like उनके पास skill set सब कुछ है, but they are not able to present in a better way. So if the company have the budget of 10 LPA, they will just decrease that package for that particular candidate, and we don't want that. Okay, so the thing is, we'll basically first focus on the communication sessions. After that, we'll create your job portfolio. So resume building sessions and these stuffs we're gonna cover up. After that, how to reach out to the like HRs, like how to build up your network. Okay, that thing we're gonna cover. After that, interview preparation and the mock interviews. So this is the must, like आप real interview देने से पहले आप बहुत सारी mock interviews दोगे यहाँ पर, so that you're fully prepared. After that, coding and technical revision होगा, जिसपे we will work upon some advanced projects also, capstone project like जो जैसे कि Tableau projects होंगे, Power BI होंगे. Now, what is the like after this career track program? Like once we get a green signal from your mentor end, from your coach end, that now he's ready for the interviews, then we'll start sharing your CVs with our hiring partner. Now, what is the condition of that income share agreement? Like if you land a job in the bracket of 5 lakh to 25 lakh, so that is our bracket 5 to 25, then you are supposed to share your income with us, and that is 2,40,000 rupees. Okay, that 240 amount you're gonna pay in the EMIs of 10,000 from your income once your first salary credits. So you have to share this income with us only in one condition, if your package is in bracket of 5 to 25. Now, basically, like as I told you earlier, that two phases would be there, the learning phase and the placement phase. Now, suppose you have enrolled with us for the placement part only, you just want to complete the learning phase and you want a placements from our end. But suppose after the course completion, आपका placement, आप थोड़ा सा time लिया, आपने खुद reach out किया, and आपका placement खुद से ही हो जाता है. So in that case, it's your choice कि आप हमारे साथ ISA sign करना चाहते हैं या नहीं करना चाहते हैं. So we will charge the enrollment fees. जैसे आप हमारे साथ initially enroll करते हैं, तो we will charge the enrollment fees, that is rupees 29,999. जिसपे like करण ने आपको already coupon code share किया है for the early bird discount. So आप apply करके like you will get the discounted price. Now उस वो enrollment जो fees होगी, that is completely refundable. सिर्फ only in one condition. If you complete the learning phase from here and sign that placement agreement with us, it means that you want a placements from our end. So उस case में enrollment fees आपको refund हो जाएगा, and then we are going to charge 240 only after the placement. But suppose आपने placements के लिए आए थे, but fortunately you get a placement from your own end before signing that ISA. So in that case, this like जो भी enrollment fees आपने pay किया होगा, that would be considered as our total bootcamp fees. We are not going to refund that. So this is our pay after placement structure. Okay, so like if you guys have
Yes.
any doubts, you can just post over on the chat section.
Got it. I think more or less all the questions have been answered, Sandeep. Thanks a lot for detailing out the pay after placement wala structure.
Mhm.
Cool. So I think we're we're already half an hour over the time that we budgeted for. So thanks a lot, Rohan. It was really great having you. It was a very fun discussion, I would say. I don't usually do this, but I think I'll start doing this now for AMS. So yeah,
So
thanks a lot.
it was a great experience for me as well. And to all the students, we'll just say that just work hard towards this goal and keep at it. Don't just quit in between. Just keep at it, and you'll achieve what you set out to do. Yeah, cool.
Cool, then I think we are good to close this off. Guys, if there are any other questions, please raise a request on the platform, and somebody from our team will get back to you on that. And yeah, thanks a lot, Sandeep, for taking this up, and thanks team for operationally supporting on this. I know there have been some issues at the start, but we'll ensure this does not happen the next time. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Shruti, basically this was an AMA session. We'll share the recording for this on YouTube in some days, so you can take a look at that. Cool. Thanks a lot, Rohan. Thanks, Sandeep. Thank you, everybody.
Yep, thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
so much.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.